How's it going, everyone? It's that nerd Ryan here, and since this is the Pokemon week of the month of July, and also July, and also the next one in the series, we'll be talking about the Unova games and region in my region recap. This way, you guys can understand my opinions on every region. I'll have a card up front for you guys to see the playlist, including all the other regions, and let's get right to it. So, I do have to say that this region I do not remember as well as most regions like Sinnoh, mostly because this is a region that I don't play a lot due to the time consumingness of it as well as the difficulty. Not saying that the game is extremely hard, it's just the fact that I can probably blow through another Pokemon game a lot faster. I did actually, on my official replay of this before I started YouTube, did play these games first before I played anything else, just to get them out of the way. That's not saying that I dislike this region, but all I'm saying is that it is not a region that I like to revisit that much. So let's get started on these starters. Another reason why I don't really go into these games is because this is my least favorite batch of starters. Usually, up until this point, I always had a fire starter, so my first playthrough, I remember having a Tepig. But I will say, I do prefer Oshawott and Samurott over anything in this, which is kind of funny considering that after these games, I've always chosen the grass starter, and before these games, I always chose the fire starter. So it's kind of funny how it always ends up being that this one is the only water starter I will pick. So I do like that it's basically just water type. I do enjoy that it is a kind of cool otter that turns into a samurai otter. And I love the design. I do feel like Pignite and Emboar, as well as Snivy, Servine, and Serperior, are kind of poorly designed. And I remember the last time I played with Serperior, it was a very rough playthrough for me. Usually when a Pokemon gives me a rough playthrough, I kind of condemn them. You'll notice when I do the Alola games that I absolutely hate Poplio due to the one time I used it in Pokemon Moon. Likewise, I don't think I will ever use Snivy again. Anyways, now that we're done with starters, let's talk about the map. I really do like the American and New York inspired design of the Unova region, considering that I do come from America. Now, obviously, I do not live in New York. I don't even live in like a big city, but just how you could tell all the American influences through the game, as along with American influences on Pokemon and everything like that. It's very welcoming to an American to see stuff like that from a Japanese RPG. So I'm also going to bring up rivals now. I did like Bianca. And I do like, I forgot his name in the second games. I always call him Jimmy because I always nicknamed him Jimmy for whatever reason. I'll put his name in editing right now. But yes, I enjoyed them. Chiron I never really cared for. I felt like he was a little too pushy and always wanted to just kind of hit you at the wrong parts to battle. Which I get, that's supposed to be what a rival is. But I always felt like he was just overly annoying compared to Bianca and Jimmy. So after that, let's talk about gym leaders. Now, the funny thing is, I do have more memorable gyms than I do in Sinnoh, although I don't have that many memorable gym leaders. I think my favorite gym in Black and White is the normal gym that is hidden in a library. And I also enjoyed the water gym. Now, this is one of the most controversial games when it comes to new Pokemon introduced next to Sword and Shield. And Sword and Shield is completely different on why it's controversial compared to Unova. A lot of people always give Unova flack for having the trash Pokemon and the ice cream Pokemon and the snowflake Pokemon, but I actually do enjoy those designs. They have actually grown on me. I remember initially not liking them and trying to avoid using them, usually using like Pidove and its evolutionary line, staying away from Venipede's line and stuff like that. But growing older, I've grown to appreciate those designs. The one that I do not actually care for actually is Kyurem's, and I understand his design and why it's like that, but I just don't really care for it. Another thing that I enjoyed in this, speaking of Kyurem, is most of the legendaries. I loved the Swords of Justice. I loved the designs of both Reshiram and Zekrom. And I also like Victini a lot, which I know is a mythical. But I just had a wonderful playthrough on my first playthrough of Pokemon Black because I was able to get the event Victini during that. And I know I had like 3 fire types on my team at that time, but I really enjoyed that Victini. And it stayed with me to the end along with my Emboar. So now that we talked about all that, let's talk about the Elite Four. Again, I don't remember the specific members of the Elite Four, but I do remember that you're able to pick them in any order that you want. And I also remember, this is where the challenging part came in, that you do have to fight them twice, I believe, in the original Black and White to be able to become champion. And they jump like 20 levels, I almost remember, which is pretty steep for somebody that's trying to rush through and play the game. On that too, the champions, as in Adler in Black and White and Iris and Black 2 and White 2, those battles are memorable to me, especially Iris's team. Iris almost ranks as high as Lance for me. But yes, I do enjoy those. Now let's go to post-game. Obviously in the post-game you have to catch all the other legendaries, you gotta finish your Pokedex, and then you have 2 cities, I believe it is, to explore. And one of the cities could be different compared to what game you're playing. Now, I've never actually been to the White Forest, but I have been to Black City. I do like the design of Black City. I just feel that it's kind of a little underwhelming when you try to enter the buildings, although I will say I did spend a lot of time in that version's battle tree. I can't remember what it's called in that game, but I do remember spending a lot of time in my first playthrough on that. So that is my initial thoughts on the Unova region and its 4 games. I will give it a 7 out of 10, and I'll say they are playable, and I'm willing to play them again when I have time to do so. As you guys probably saw in my previous vlog, I bought Angie a 3DS, and we're both playing through Pokemon Sun right now. So once I'm able to beat Pokemon Sun or Pokemon Yellow and Silver and complete this Living Dex challenge that I did, I would probably be able to sit back and enjoy either Black 2 or Black or White 2. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you subscribe because there's going to be a lot more diverse stuff coming out. Next week we'll be having a Star Wars video about either why the Jedi are super flawed or why Darth Maul, or what Darth Maul's mindset throughout the entire episode 1 is. You guys can vote on that in the comments or message me if you're watching this on Facebook or whatever, and tell me what you think would be better. Most likely, if nobody votes, I'll be doing the Jedi one, but it's up to you. And then the week after that, we'll be doing something experimental. So I really do hope you guys can like, comment, subscribe for more incredible stuff. Be sure to share this and let your friends know that It's That Nerd Ryan isn't just going to be about Pokemon now. or vlogs, it's going to be about Pokemon, Star Wars, fan bases, vlogs, and experimental content on the last week of the month. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and remember, we're all Pokemon masters on the inside.